Hi everybody, Chris Schulte from Greenlight Quilts. This is for my friend Joy. I'm going to roughly go over the various ways to cut the quarter square triangles. My favorite size is the 3.5-inch unfinished quarter square triangle. And I've gotten this down to a science. Let me show you that I love.
You love your
I
scraps.
love the shape. This whole bin is full of mostly background quarter square triangles. Yeah. I use it so often and I cut so many that, and for those of you who might get confused, the quarter square triangle means 4 triangles in 1 square. Okay, and this is a special little triangle. You've got the bias edges here, the strain of grain here. And there's a lot of different ways to cut this little bad boy. And this is one of the blocks I do that I like to trim when I'm done. So I'm not super exact and precise on the exact size of the shape. I kind of go by whatever fabric I have the most of. And here's one way. If you wanted to be exactly precise, I think you would cut a 4 1/8 inch square, cut it on the diagonal twice, and you would get a triangle that would yield one of those quarter square triangles.
Okay.
I like to do 4 1/4. I like to have a little bit of extra wiggle room for trimming because, I mean, I know everybody else. I sew perfectly. Nobody else does. Just kidding. But so one of my favorite cuts is a fat 1/8. Okay, and a fat 1/8 is 9 inches by 22 inches. And a lot of the designers will sell these fat 1/8s. Okay, I'm ambidextrous when I cut, but I know a lot of you aren't. So what I'm going to do is kind of come on the corner. So I can show you. So here's my fat 1/8, okay? And I just kind of folded it in half, got it straight. Okay. So I have it like this. This ruler, the 8.5 inch square, is great for this. Okay. So I'm going to cut. So 4 1/4 times 2 is 8.5. Oh. I'm only popular when I'm doing videos. Okay. I'm doing this right-handed, not ambidextrous, because I know a lot of you are not. Okay, so there we go. Then I need a 4 1/4 inch strip. And since I'm so familiar with this ruler, I know that this white line here is the halfway point. So that's 4 1/4. Okay, so we have 2 4 1/4 inch slices. Okay. And again, I'm going to need 4 1/4 inch squares. And these will be in the thanks for coming pile. And let's do it this way for the right-handed people. All right, after I make this cut, I'm going to leave it. Here's my 45-degree line on the ruler. I'm just going to put this down with the 45-degree line on my cut, and I have the corner and the corner. And then lift it carefully, slide this down, and do the same thing with this side. The trick is not to molest anything. And by making them a little bit bigger, you have the little extra wiggle room. And just like that, you have a whole bunch of quarter square triangles. Okay.
How quick and easy.
Yeah, so I'm going to put those in the pile, and they'll be in a next. Now, sometimes if you're on a deserted island and you don't have 4.5 or 4 1/4 inch wide of fabric, let's say you have 2 inch or 2 1/4. So these are my 2 inch strips that I've gone through. Here's some Crystal Manning fabric. I like that. Okay. So I keep my fabrics separated in the width of the strip. So these are the color. I have a big tub of background 2 inch strips. But this is great when I'm doing something scrappy and I just need a couple. So I have a 2 inch strip here. This is where this great ruler comes into play. This is a quarter square triangle, which I call the pyramid. And it's a half square triangle, which is the ski slope. It looks like a little ski slope. And here's the pyramid.
Okay.
Okay, quarter square is the pyramid. There's this little, it's very worn, but you see that little black notch up there? There you go, Linda. Okay,
Yeah.
you just kind of line it up to the top. And then I don't look at any of the numbers on the ruler. I just find the closest line and make sure it's square, make sure it's straight. Okay, one problem that I notice people do is, I know you're afraid to cut your fingers. A lot of people will hold the ruler down here like this. And what that does, especially if you're cutting more than a couple of layers, is it lifts the ruler here, and then you get the little flag happening. So you want to make sure you put your pressure equally so that you have nothing flapping. We're old. We don't like things wiggling and flapping.
No, we don't want flap.
And so there's another way to make your quarter square triangle.
How clever.
Easy peasy.
Yes.
Have a great day. Bye.
Oh, wait a minute.